Welcome to Crusing New England.
Mike, thanks for the ride. We're in Berkeley, Massachusetts at Myricks Airport, where we're going to have a look at some awesome airplanes. We're going to visit with the Blue Angels Car Club, one of the oldest in America, and we're going to be at their 50th anniversary celebration.
All morning, members of the Blue Angels Car Club have been arriving at Myricks Airport in southeastern Massachusetts. This is a reunion and revival of a car club that started 50 years ago in Westport. Earl Mason has done a great job restoring this 59 Ford retractable, completely stocked.
It's a 1959 Ford retractable Galaxy. It's the last year of the retractable and the first year of the Galaxy.
It's a pretty long vehicle.
It's 22.5 feet and it weighs 4,600 pounds.
Now let's have a look at that front. It's a beautiful front, a real classic. Tell us about it.
Well, it is kind of nice looking. This piece up here, the hood emblem, that's an extra.
And the bullets you have there on the...
them are factory extras, yeah.
Factory extras?
Yeah.
So that was an add-on in 1959.
Yes, the spotlights are factory extras.
And what do you have under the hood?
That's a 352 V8 Thunderbird engine.
You know, Earl, this interior reminds me of my aunt's living room. You know, back in the 50s, she used to put plastic all over the couches and the sofas. Tell us about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, in the summer, they're very hot and sticky, and in the winter, they're very cold. But it is all original. Another thing about this car is when they made it, they weren't sure what they were going to put on it. So they ended up putting Flying Eagles up here for Thunderbird, and they ended up putting the Fairlane emblems on it, and actually it's a Galaxy. So they weren't sure what they were going to do. So it's like a 3-in-1 car.
It's a retractable. So why don't we show everybody what a retractable is?
Certainly.
So look at that. The trunk goes up.
The lid goes up, they call it a trunk lid. As you can see, the roof is inside.
And here comes the roof. Does it always come out? Does it ever get stuck?
Well, not yet.
Not yet, huh?
It could during
I've seen them get stuck before, though. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. So you go from a real nice convertible to a hardtop in less than a minute, basically.
That's the love of it.
You have a great car, Earl.
Thank you.
Here's one of my favorite classic vehicles, a 1966 Mustang convertible. Ken Pacheco, tell me a little bit about your ride.
Well, I've had it for like 10 years now, and we did a little bit of work to it. We repainted it. We did a couple of the seats, and we freshened up the engine. Just the internal parts are all the same. We just cleaned up the outside and put new belts and stuff on it.
So here you have an all-stock Mustang, but I noticed these wheels are not all stock.
No, they're not. They're aftermarket wheels, and they make the car look much better, I think.
Now, is this your vehicle?
No, it's my wife's vehicle, and it was her decision to put the wheels on.
Hey, you're late. Where you been?
Fighting the weather.
Right in the weather, huh? Hey, come on out and give us a look at this car. I'm here with Tony Cavello. What a beautiful 65 GTO. How long have you had it?
23 years.
23 years. Tell us about it.
Well, I bought it off a friend out of Seekonk, and it's original car. About 2 years ago, we got a little bang in the back because a young lady hit me and had to have it all redone. Motors, so she's been redone from the motor right back to the back bumper.
So you're all stock here, other than the wheels. I noticed you have some Kragers on there. For that time period, that's a beautiful wheel to have on this car. So
Yeah,
what do we
that
got?
was in my era.
That was your era. Got glass packs in there or what?
Yep.
All right. Listen, what do we have under the hood?
We got a stock 380, well, it's a 389 high performance with tri-power on it. She's bored 30 over. Outside of that, you know, she's a stock car.
So for you, this is a driver. You drive this
Yes,
everywhere.
I
Now, I
drive
understand you've owned this for a long time.
Yes.
How long?
23 years.
Now, is this a keeper? Is this something you're going to keep in the family?
Oh, yes. My son says if I sell it, I'm dead.
If you sell it, you're dead. So he's already got his mark on this vehicle.
When we come back, we'll get a chance to see the antique biplane that brought me to the Blue Angels Car Club reunion.
going to take me upside down. But maybe you can get...
He doesn't have to take you upside down. He can leave you right side up.
We're back at the Hot Rod Reunion, the 50th anniversary of the Blue Angels Car Club of Massachusetts. Mike Dupont pilots this Boeing Stearman and Miss Sadie.
This plane was built in 1940. Throughout the late 30s and 40s, they built a whole bunch of them for the military to use as trainers. Originally, it was built with a much smaller engine on it. This big engine on here is when it was used for crop dusting after it was out of military service. I get the pleasure to fly it once in a while.
Yeah, but you maintain it. You have a company called American Aero Services?
That's right, yep.
That's awesome. And I guess it is available to take rides in.
Yeah, the owner has a, when he's up here, he gives rides, and they sell rides, and he advertises for that. It's a great plane to have around.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it was a great thrill for me today to have a ride in this, and I want to thank you for that.
I love giving rides.
Mike also flies this Canadian World War II trainer, nicknamed the Chipmunk.
Mike, I'm glad you didn't take me up on this one. When I see experimental on an airplane, I think that gives me some concern.
Well, this plane was built in Canada, and it was used in the Canadian military as a trainer. And when they brought it to the United States, it has to go into the experimental category. It's really a nice airplane. Originally built with fabric wings, it's been metallized, it has a bigger engine on it. It was used for a long time, up into the 60s in England, Portugal, and in Canada as a trainer. And if I can get you in here, we'll get you upside down.
Maybe we'll save this one for next year.
Okay.
Okay.
Murray Randall owns this airport, and he owns this World War II Stomp biplane, made by Nord Aviation for 3 decades.
This plane was a French World War II trainer, and these are French markings that looks to many people like that's a British roundel, but those are French markings. That's a symbol that a French World War I combat pilot, his name was Charles Nungesser, or Nungessier, or I'm not pronouncing it right, but he was a very prominent World War I ace, and he was much feared by the Germans. When anybody heard that he was going to be flying, they didn't want to do battle with him, but he painted this symbol very large on the side of all of his planes, very large and prominent, both sides. And this struck fear into the hearts of the Germans, so he really didn't have a very hard time because he established a reputation. The Stearman is a very heavy, cumbersome, difficult plane. I think if you can fly that, you probably are prepared to fly any World War II fighter. I wanted a hangar and a little more freedom to operate. So I can rebuild my old planes and kind of do what I want here, and it's much nicer than being under the thumb of an airport manager and whatnot.
You got the best of both worlds here, don't you?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
When we come back, more hot rods and classic cars from the Blue Angels Car Club reunion.
It's been an exciting day today. I want to thank the Blue Angels Car Club for inviting me to their 50th anniversary reunion. I'm Paul Manette. Until next time, I'll be cruising New England.